So the National Visa Center backlog increased by over 5,000 cases this month, for the month of June. Why is NVC taking so long? We'll talk about this in this video. We'll also talk about some projections and what to expect in the next few months. So if your case is stuck in the National Visa Center, if you're waiting for a visa appointment at the US Embassy, this video is for you, and I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody, and welcome back to our immigration channel. This is a place where you get the most up-to-date immigration news, immigration information, and everything else that you need to make your immigration journey less stressful. My name is Jacob Sapochnick, and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California, and I help clients in all 50 states and all over the world. In this video, we'll talk about the recent increase in cases at the National Visa Center. In the month of June, the backlog at the National Visa Center increased by over 5,000 cases. We'll talk about why this is happening and what to expect in the next few months. But before we do that, if you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to show this video to more people just like you. So, the green card backlog at the National Visa Center increased in the month of June, 426,000 cases pending for interview, and this is compared to 421,000 cases in the month of May. Definitely something to be concerned about. And just to put this in perspective, if you want to compare this to the same time, June of 2019, before the pandemic, at that time they only had 60,000 cases pending, waiting for an interview. This is compared to now, over 241,000 cases pending, waiting for an interview. That just shows you how bad this backlog is. Imagine, this is over 7 times the monthly average for 2019 in comparison. Every month, the National Visa Center publishes the backlog report, and let's take a look at the backlog report for the month of June from the State Department. So if you look at this chart, the number of immigrant visa applicants whose cases are documentary complete at National Visa Center and ready for interview as of May 31st, 2022, currently stands at 455,031 cases. The number of documentary complete immigrant visa applicants scheduled for June 2020 interview appointments stands at 28,545 cases only. And the number of eligible immigrant visa applicants still pending to be scheduled for an interview after June of 2022, it stands at 426,486 cases. Now, if you remember in previous videos, I mentioned to you that the State Department is doing a lot of efforts to push those interviews. They're training more staff, they're trying to waive interviews, but the impact is not that significant yet. If you look at May compared to June, yes, there is an increase in scheduled interviews. In May, they only had 28,447 interviews, and in June, they increased that amount to 28,545 interviews. So it's a very small increase, but it is an increase, and we hope to see that happening in the month of July, August, all the way through September. There's definitely going to be an increase in appointments scheduled, but it's not going to be as significant as we hope it to be. And so at the moment, while they're making some efforts, we don't see something very significant that they're doing, and therefore the concern is that this backlog could last potentially for another 1.5 years, possibly 2 years, because possibly 2 years, unless something drastic is going to happen at the State Department that will show us a major change in their policies, in their procedures to allow this backlog to decrease. And if you look at the past year, if we basically audit the last 12 months, you can see that the National Visa Center have been fluctuating in the months. From July of 2021, where they were able to schedule over 34,000 interviews that month, to a low of 24,000 interviews in December of 2021. This is because some of these embassies operate subject to local conditions, and they have a lot of discretion as to how they operate and which cases they're able to see. So you can see that in some countries, because of the pandemic, some of these embassies were not working at all. It impacted the number of cases that National Visa Center was able to send to those consulates because they're not able to receive any of these cases. And as I mentioned to you before in other videos, National Visa Center is almost like a holding facility. They're holding all these documentary complete cases. They're waiting for embassies to open interview slots. Typically, those embassies will give them advance notice of about 30 days minimum, but typically it's about 60 days, letting them know which appointments they're going to be able to take and how many cases they're able to send. And so because some of these embassies are not doing so, because they're working on a limited capacity, and if you look at the description of this video, I've posted the most recent embassy update that we do every month, where we tell you which embassies are open, which embassies are closed, and which embassies are working on limited capacity. If you look at that link, if you check the link in this video, you can see the most recent update, and it will tell you how these embassies are doing and which embassies are seeing more appointments and which embassies are working on a limited capacity. Again, all these statistics go back to the National Visa Center, because if embassies are not able to take those cases, National Visa Center will not be able to send those cases, and the backlog will continue to grow. So the only way to resolve this is for the State Department to send more officers, to waive more interviews, to streamline the process of these interviews, essentially force the embassies and consulates to open more visa slots, to allow the National Visa Center to send more cases, and this way, month by month, decrease this horrific backlog that we're currently seeing. So once again, hopefully this information was helpful. This is the most recent NVC backlog that we can report to you. As you can see, there's been a little progress from last month, but it's not very significant. And my prediction is that July will see a similar movement, but hopefully in August and September, we'll see a little bit more progress, and hopefully the numbers are going to look much better. Once again, if you have any questions, post them in the comments below. If you do need help with your case, if you need assistance, or if your case is stuck, if you feel that you need more support to be able to push your case forward, send me a text, 619-483-4549. I'm here for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.